I thought she was the one. You know that feeling when you meet someone who fills your empty spaces, who makes you believe that maybe, just maybe, you're not as unlovable as the world made you feel? I gave her everything. Not money, not luxury, but my time, my loyalty, my soul. I believed in forever with her. But what I didn't realize was she didn't believe in me. It wasn't sudden. It was like slow poison. Day by day, I felt her drifting, smiling less, looking away more, until one day her silence was louder than any goodbye I'd ever heard. And then she left. No big fight, no closure, just a message that said, "It's not working anymore. I'm sorry." Sorry? How do you say sorry for shattering a soul? How do you say sorry for walking away from someone who was already broken, but still trying? That night I cried, like a child. I screamed into my pillow, not just for her, but for every time in my life I felt unwanted. Every moment I tried to be enough for people who only wanted pieces of me. She wasn't just a girl. She was the last thread I was holding on to. And when she let go, I fell, hard. Days turned into nights, and nights into nothingness. I stopped eating, I stopped talking. I just existed. My friends said move on. They didn't understand. It's not about missing her. It's about losing the hope she gave me. When you've been empty your whole life, even a lie can feel like love. I stopped believing in people. I even stopped believing in myself. And worst of all, I started to question God. Why? I asked. Why would you let this happen to me? Haven't I been through enough? Haven't I cried enough? There was no answer, just silence. But deep in that silence, something began to stir. Not anger, not revenge, but a tiny voice, one that whispered, "This pain is not the end of you." I didn't trust that voice at first. I ignored it, but it kept returning, every night when I thought of giving up. Until one day, I did something I hadn't done in years. I got on my knees, and I prayed. Not with fancy words, not with perfect faith, just broken whispers and shaking hands. God, if you're still there, please, just help me breathe again. That was it. No magic, no sudden miracle, but from that moment, something changed. I started reading scriptures again, not for religion, but for survival. I saw stories of people who were betrayed, broken, lost, but God still used them, still loved them, still gave them purpose. And for the first time, I thought, maybe God isn't punishing me. Maybe He's preparing me. Maybe that heartbreak wasn't rejection. It was redirection. I stopped chasing people, stopped begging for attention. Instead, I started working on me. I hit the gym, not for revenge, but for self-respect. I started journaling, reading, praying. I stopped looking at her last scene. I stopped waiting for apologies that would never come. And with every passing day, I felt something return. My peace, my focus, my faith. I still think about her sometimes, not with hate, not even with pain, but with gratitude. Because the day she left, God stepped in. She broke me, but God began building His strongest soldier. And this is just the beginning. It didn't happen overnight. Healing is not a lightning strike. It's a sunrise. You don't even notice it's happening until one day you wake up and realize the darkness is no longer there. I stopped searching for closure because I realized some people will never say sorry. Some hearts are not meant to stay. They're only meant to shake us so God can rebuild us. I wasn't trying to impress anyone anymore. No more late night scrolling. No more comparing my life to others. I was rebuilding in silence, in faith, and in fire. At first, I turned to God because I had no one else. But slowly, God became not my last resort, but my first love. I started praying, not just when I was broken, but even when I was grateful. I read verses that felt like they were written just for me, like this one: "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Psalm 34:18. That verse wasn't just comforting, it was personal, because that's what I was, crushed, and yet still, somehow held by something greater than me. The deeper I went into faith, the more I understood. That relationship ending was not a punishment, it was a protection. I had made her my God, my source of worth, my anchor, and God doesn't compete with idols. Sometimes he has to remove the person who's sitting on the throne of your heart so he can take his rightful place. That was the lesson. I had been loving from my wounds, not my worth, and God had to break me so he could heal me right. People who saw me after a few months didn't recognize me, not because of my clothes or muscles, but because of my peace. I had this strange calm in my eyes, like I had been through war and survived. People asked, "What changed?" And I'd smile and say, "Everything," when I gave my broken pieces to God. No therapy session could do what 1 hour alone in prayer did for me. No friend could offer the comfort I found in his presence, and no closure could compare to the clarity I got from the Word. Then something happened. I started feeling a pull, not just to heal, but to help others heal too. I began writing, sharing my story, talking about pain and faith and strength. At first it was hard. Who wants to talk about the person who broke them? But then I realized the story isn't about her. It's about the God who met me after she left. And suddenly, all the tears, all the nights I couldn't sleep, all the moments I thought I'd die from the pain, they became my testimony. God didn't just heal me, he gave me a voice. I am not just healed. I am not just whole. I am a soldier now. Not in the sense of being tough or emotionless, but in the sense of being ready. Ready to fight battles on my knees. Ready to lead with love, not lust. Ready to walk in purpose, not people-pleasing. My armor isn't pride anymore. It's faith. My weapon isn't anger. It's prayer. My strength isn't in revenge. It's in surrender. Sometimes I still remember her, but not with hate. I actually thank her, silently, because if she hadn't broken me, I never would have been rebuilt by the hands of God. She saw a boy who didn't have much, but God, he saw a man being trained in the fire. And now, I don't just survive heartbreaks, I walk others through them, because I've been there. I know what it's like to lose your heart, and then find your soul. So if you're listening to this and you feel forgotten, if someone walked away from you and left you in the dark, I want you to know, you are not abandoned. You are being refined. God is not done with you. He's just getting started. That pain you're feeling, it has a purpose. That heartbreak, it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your transformation. You were never weak. You were just too soft for a world that doesn't value gentle hearts. But God sees your softness as strength. He will take your brokenness and turn it into boldness. So don't give up. Don't let one person's absence make you question your worth. You are more than what they couldn't see. God is building something in you, something strong, something unshakable, something divine. From a broken heart, you are becoming God's strongest soldier, and the world has no idea what's coming next. She broke my heart, but God built my soul, and now I don't need her back, because I finally found myself in the hands of the one who never left. If this story touched your heart, if you've ever felt broken, lost, or forgotten, just remember, God is still writing your story. Don't leave without letting someone else feel this message. Share this video with someone who needs it. Like it if it gave you strength. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that speak to your soul. Because on this channel, we don't just tell stories, we help people heal.